Hello, hello. Thank you. Wasn't Freddie good? Wasn't Freddie good? I'm actually not that good, but to be honest, I haven't been feeling myself recently. I've been seeing a therapist. Didn't work out. £50 an hour. I must admit, for that sort of money, I was expecting a happy ending. Yeah. Looking for a new therapist now, someone cheap, because in all honesty, it's piss easy, you know, listening, nodding, looking a bit concerned. You're very good at it. I might as well just offload onto you. But that would be rude. So I am going to offload on everyone in this room. We're going to start with my name. My name is Richard Probert, or as I was known at school, Richard Pubert. Teachers could be very cruel. Pubes to my friends. It didn't bother me. I work in potatoes. That's not actually the problem. I actually quite enjoy it, you know. Plenty of variety. Maris Piper, King Edward, that type of thing. Purple Majesty, that's a rude one. Purple Majesty. We have a lot of fun with that in the office. Things like, is that a Purple Majesty in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? No, it is in fact an erection. A Purple Majesty could never grow this big, as you should know. It being a seed potato and not a tuber. It's important to have a sense of humour when you work in potatoes. As I explained to HR later on that day. I would consider myself well connected. I used to work alongside the Prince of Wales. And now I work alongside T-Mobile. So. Pretty cool. I'm married, and marriage is very important to me, you know, the sort of sanctity of marriage. And I've got 2 young children, Tamara and Steve. Different mothers. Yeah, okay. I've got regrets, you know, I really regret standing up here. No, seriously, I regret going into potatoes, and I regret being too good at sex. It's a bummer. Which is ironic, because I've never done anal, and I never will. That's been made very clear. It's a bit personal, that, actually. It is a bit personal. I shouldn't go on about it, but it is a situation I've tried my utmost to rectify. Oh. That's a little joke, actually, one which I won't be doing again. Thank you. No, I do get sex. I do get sex. I get sort of conventional missionary-style sex. I get sex once a month. Every month, yeah. So I am looking towards another 600 shags. Should I live to be 103? Which I fully intend to do, just to be annoying, if nothing else. But, yeah, so why are you in therapy, pubes? Hey, why are you in therapy, pubes? Well, this isn't going to come out well. I went to boarding school, and I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, oh, poor little rich boy, you know. But the fact is, I wasn't rich. I got in on a sports scholarship due to being incredibly athletic. Yeah, of course I didn't. I was rich. I was filthy rich, really. Filthy rich. I mean, swimming pool, tennis court rich, and I didn't even play tennis. Couldn't be bothered. But the point is, I'm not rich anymore, and I know this because I buy my shoes from Tesco. And I think if you've got a pair of Tesco shoes on, then you know that things probably haven't panned out quite as well as you would have hoped. and they haven't. They're not very expensive. Put it this way, you will have drunk the monetary equivalent of these shoes before the end of this evening, only if you're driving, that is. Only if you're driving. Anyway, I digress. Why do I need therapy, if it wasn't obvious? I think I need therapy because everything I sort of attempt in life never seems to go well. Oh, isn't that so annoying? Oh. I'm not just talking about tonight either. For example, I recently hosted a birthday party, straightforward thing to do, and but against my better judgment, I got in a thing called a vodka luge. Now, if you don't know what, most people don't know what a vodka luge is, but basically it's a big block of ice with a hole drilled through the middle, and you pour vodka down one end, and you drink the vodka out the other end, right? And you can have it in any shape you want, but the idea is to have it in a shape that funnels the vodka to a natural pointed opening so it's easy to drink out of. So I had mine in the shape of a man's penis. I had created a 3-foot long cock of ice, is what I'd done. And I was getting really drunk, mainly because I don't normally drink vodka. But I found that if you put foaming beer down it, it made the cock look like it had a dose of gonorrhea, which isn't a look I was, wanting really. So, not that I've ever experienced gonorrhea, by the way, in my life, due to proper protection and a distinct lack of sex. So I find the combination of the two a really effective barrier against virtually all venereal diseases. So it's just a little tip for you there. This probably won't surprise you, but when I was, before I was married, I found it very difficult to pull. Yeah, I found it very difficult to pull because I think I lacked confidence. Yeah, and pulling, I don't know if you agree, but pulling is about confidence, isn't it? You need to be confident. Like, for example, I had friends who could tap a girl on the shoulder in a nightclub and just say, "Nice ass," right? And that'd be enough, they'd be away. I could never surprise them like that. I'd always have to let them know I was on my way over. Yeah. And when I got there, I'd always buy them a drink because it's a nice thing to do, isn't it? Buy someone a drink. But this is a tip for you, actually. I'd pretend not to understand what they were asking for, then just buy them a pint of Carling. I'm not saying it works every time, but I mean, what it does, it buys you a bit of time in their company, you see. But I do warn you, men, boys, in my experience, girls can drink fast, so be careful where you place your Carling investments. Yeah. I might actually cut that one out of my set. It doesn't really work, does it? It doesn't really work, does it? Oh, not that I've got a set. I mean, here's me pretending that I'm a comedian and stuff. But oh, it's big-headed. Where was I? I've gone off on a tangent, haven't I? Okay, let's bring it back. The birthday party. Okay, let's quickly, pace. It's all about pace, I think, in comedy. So, as he just meanders off in there. Right, the birthday party, right? On the bar there in Powder Place was my cock of ice. Okay, I say bar, it's more like a trestle table with some cakes and stuff. And for the first time in my entire life, I was at a party where everyone wanted a go on my cock. Which something that I've never experienced before, and to the point where I was fending them off. And I'm not a violent man. I think you could tell I'm not a violent person, but I was knocking some of them to the floor. They were coming at me, and I was like that. I ended up wrestling two of them for the cock, which I then dropped, and it smashed. There was cock everywhere. Honestly, it completely ruined Steve's 5th birthday party. It really did. Never doing that again. It smashed into like 1,000 little cocks that slipped and slid into every nook and cranny of the room. It was rather like a Tory party conference. There were cocks everywhere. Oh, look, it's a little bit of political there. Who'd have thought I was capable? Yep, no one. And I'm not. I'm not, but I'm going to press on. I'm going to press on regardless. The Tories, hey, what a bunch of dicks. What a bunch of dicks. Well, ironically, I'm a Tory, but although I say that actually. I say that I'm not sure I am anymore because since I met my wife, she has gradually, bit by bit, been knocking the Tory out of me with her values. You know, with her values. Honestly, what's she like? And which is a shame actually, because there's nothing quite like being right wing. There's nothing quite like it. But now apparently, I've got to start thinking of others. Oh. As if life was complicated enough. So a bit of sex there, and a bit of politics, and sex and politics, and sex and politics. What this doesn't have, in fact, is an ending, which is a problem. So I'm just going to say good night. Good night. Yeah, my name's been Richard Probert. You've been lovely, thank you.